Good afternoon, everyone. Giselle Galvio here with MixFit SA, and I'd like to welcome you back for our hybrid yoga and bodyweight session. All you need today is a towel, a mat, and a water bottle. We'll get started here in 15 seconds. See you here on the mat.
All right, well done.
All right, we're ready to get started with today's session. Thank you for joining me. Go ahead and take a seat on your mat. Seated bones flat to the floor. And if comfortable, you can cross your legs over one another, or you can keep them out in front of you with a slight bend in your knee. Whatever position is most comfortable. Today's session, like I said, will be a yoga and bodyweight session, so we won't be using any weights. We'll begin here on the floor, seated position, hands upon the knees. Let's go ahead and close our eyes and set our focus and intent on our third eye. Deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth with the mouth closed. We'll begin with equal breathing. As you begin equal breathing, continue your breaths. On every inhale, expand your belly button. On the exhale, contract your belly button. Do this 3 to 4 more deep breaths. Remember, on equal breathing, the inhale is just as long as the exhale. Continue. Awesome. Let's go ahead and move on to our joint decompression. We'll begin here in the cervical spine with the neck. Clockwise circles. Let's go for 3. Make sure you're sitting tall through your spine. Chest is lifted, belly up and in. Back to center, opposite direction. 3. Great job. Finish that next circle, back to center. Make sure through the transition of these stretches or poses, you want to breathe deep. In through the nose and out through the mouth with the mouth closed. Let's go ahead and take our fingertips and place them on our shoulders, and we're going to begin shoulder rolls, exaggerating those elbow circles. Out beside you, lifting tall through the top of the head, and we'll go 3 to 4 circles in reverse and 3 to 4 circles forward. Deep breaths, belly to spine. Excellent. Same position, fingers upon the shoulders. We're going to begin with a lateral reach of that elbow. So, seated bones flat, reaching over to the right side. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. We'll alternate bilaterally. Let's go 3 each side. Take your time and try to lengthen out a little further each rep. Excellent. Placing the hands back upon the knees here, we're going to begin with spine rotation and kind of twist that out a little bit. So taking the hands, left hand comes in front, right hand comes in back, and we're going to look over that right hip, right shoulder. Once again, shoulders are down away from the ears, chest is lifted, neutralize that spine. We'll hold here for 3 to 4 deep breaths. Back to center. Deep breath in, arms will come over the head as we lengthen out that spine. And exhale down, rotating over the left side. Deep breaths. Very nice. And we'll go back to center. Now we'll begin on all fours, cat and cow. So let's go ahead and take an all fours position upon your mat. And from this position, we want to be sure that our palms are under our shoulders and our knees are under our hips. We want to tuck our chin into our chest, driving the floor away from us as we lift the top of our back to the ceiling. As you ground your palms upon the floor and push the earth away,
Tuck the pelvis and belly button into spine. Deep breath in before the transition, and exhale.
As you arch the spine in the opposite direction, continuing to push the earth away, lifting the chest and shoulders down and back. Belly button to spine. Deep breath, inhale.
Exhale.
Let's do this 3 to 4 reps. Begin. Take your time. This is a warm-up move
For the spine. We want to get everything circulated from the top to the bottom. Beautiful. Also,
on the cat stretch, or excuse me, the cow stretch. As you're pushing the earth away, be sure not to strain your neck. We're pushing the ground away through our core and our chest, lifting through and not pulling through. Great job. Let's take our first child's pose. Toes come together, knees outside the mat, or as wide as the mat. Tinted fingers walking those
hands out and place your forehead onto the mat. Relaxing the elbows. We're going to stay here for 3 to 4 deep breaths and allow the hips and low back to just stretch out and open up.
Good. Let's go ahead and come back up to all fours. And now we're going to take those knees a little closer underneath those hip bones. And we're going to do the same stretch, child's pose, but this time we're going to get more of a low back stretch. The wider that your knees are outside the hips, the more hip stretch you get, and the closer, the more low back. So let's stretch that out. 3 to 4 deep breaths. All right. Coming back up, we're going to activate the limbs now. Get everything circulating. Let's go ahead and lift up our right palm, bicep by the ear. Neutral spine, once again, wrist under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to reverse the toes on the back side. And now that we have our one arm extended out in front, we're going to cross lateral extend our opposite leg. Holding here for cross lateral plank. 3 to 4 deep breaths. Hips are square. Chest is proud, scaps are back. Beautiful. Coming down to neutral position, we'll take one cat and cow stretch to reset that spine. Good. And then we'll go to the opposite side. For more balance on the upper body or stability, you can place the balancing arm under the center line of the chest. Taking the left hand out by the bicep, then extending the opposite leg behind you. 3 to 4 deep breaths. From this position, just a reminder, hips are square, scaps are back, deep breathing. Try to make sure that all your joints are in alignment, your elbow, shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle. Great job. Release, and we'll take another child's pose, knees outside the mat. 3 deep breaths. Back to all fours. Now we're going to activate, get the core going just a little bit more. So from that all fours position, we're going to go ahead and come up to our first downward dog. Reversing the toes in the back, aligning all of our joints, extending those hips, and allowing a reverse position. This is a very revitalizing stretch. You can move the feet forward, back, inside, outside, whatever's comfortable for you. The goal, of course, would be to drop the heels, but if we're not there, that is fine as well. Get your stretch and listen to your body. We want to stay here for a little longer, a little more revitalization here with that circulation. So let's go 5 to 6 deep breaths. Once again, as you inhale from this position, expand the belly and contract the belly. So on the inhale, expand your abdominals. And on the exhale, contract the abdominals. Excellent. Now we're going to walk those hands out to plank, firing the upper body a little bit more. And we're going to work on driving forward to our chaturanga. So with our wrist under our shoulders and our legs out straight, we're going to drive those toes forward. So if we come back, here's our plank. We're going to drive that plank forward. as though we're diving forward. Then we're going to lower down our elbows into our body to the floor. We'll begin with this lying, prone, scapular retraction, reaching the arms out in front of you, reversing the toes flat to the floor. Exhale as you lift up. Here's a tip. We're not lifting with our chin or our neck. We're lifting with our scap and our lats in the back, these back muscles, rear delts, and our core. Let's go. 3 to 4 reps. Inhale on the extension. Exhale on the contraction. Good job. Then we're going to take our hands, place them just under our breastbone, reversing the toes, using our knees and arms to come back up, and going into our downward dog. For this round of downward dog, we're just going to stay 2 to 3 deep breaths as we continue to activate. Now we're going to work from down dog to that plank. And so what we're going to do is from this down dog position, we're going to come up on our tiptoes. We're going to spine roll into plank. And what you'll notice here is that we're already almost driven out. We don't have to drive our toes too much more forward. Then we're going to lower down and then come up. Excellent job. Let's do 3 of these. Hands come back down, downward dog. Come to the tip of the toes, spine roll into plank. Now from this position, we're already driving forward. Lower those elbows to the body. Come up. Excellent. Let's go to child's pose and let that circulate through the low back and hips. 3 to 4 deep breaths. Coming back up to all fours, we're going to work our way to standing and begin our standing poses and stretches. Reversing the toes, we'll go to a quick down dog. Hinging those hips down, we're going to hop, step, or jump up to the top of our mat. Lifting our chest and coming up into chair pose. You want to stay here for a moment, let all that blood circulate back down in the proper direction. Making sure we don't get too dizzy or come up too fast. Then we can release the hands and come up overhead. Hands to heart center. Great job. That will conclude the floor portion of our yoga class today. Now we'll begin our standing stretches. You're doing great. Take a sip of water, grab your towel if you need it. Otherwise, let's keep going. At the top of your mat, taking your feet, grounding into the earth. Just out of the way. We're going to come to receiving pose. From receiving pose, our feet are flat, and you want to ground where you're feeling all of the floor into the bottoms of your feet. Pulling that mat apart, firing the quads. We're going to pull that pelvis up and under. We want to hit these checkpoints, so we have landmarks, those joint complexes. So we're going to start from the bottom. We're going to fire those feet, ankles into the ground. We're going to grip those toes, get those those calves going. Then we're going to fire the quads, squeezing the glutes, pulling the pelvis in, lifting the chest, and coming overhead. From this position, we are fully engaged. We take a deep breath in as we exhale, swan dive forward to forward fold or ragdoll. Staying here, we're going to shake our head yes, shake our head no. Then we're going to place our hands onto the floor, hop, step, or jump to plank. And then from plank, we're going to spine roll, so we're going to drive those toes forward, coming back, and then drive them back to plank. Beautiful, lower down. We're going to come for baby cobra, so keeping your hands by your shoulders and lift. Very nice. Just kind of building off that scapular retraction. Stretch. Reversing the head, toes, driving it back, hinging those hips, hopping to front, lifting the chest, and chair pose. Holding 3 to 4 deep breaths. Once again, my feet are grounded, my glutes, core is engaged. As I take a deep breath in and come up, and we're going to go into warrior one. Taking our right foot behind us, warrior lunge, our right foot behind us. And with the warrior lunge, if I can get my balance here, is where all our joints are straight. So your toes are straight, your hips and your ankles are straight, hands are overhead. You're gonna come to a split stance or lunge position. Once you hit that split stance position, you wanna pull those shoulders over those hips, and we're gonna drop straight down to that lunge. Holding this, 3 deep breaths. Then from here, as we come up, we're gonna bring our hands to heart center, and we will rotate to warrior 2. For warrior 2, we rotate that back heel flat on the mat, inverting it, toes towards that corner, lunging forward, extending the arms, front arm palm up, back arm palm down. We want to have wrist, shoulder, shoulder, wrist, one line, and we want to make sure that all our joints are in alignment, knee and ankle, pulling the shoulders down, tucking that core. Then from here, we're going to reverse our warrior, taking our back hand behind our back and lifting that front hand to the sky. Make sure to lengthen through the sky and not behind the back, hyperextending the spine, but lift up and out for more of a stretch. Beautiful. From here, we're going to windmill our arms to plank. Good. Driving that spine roll back, driving that spine roll forward, lower it down. And we're going to come up for a little higher cobra this time. Driving those palms, once again, I'm using my upper body to lift, not straining my neck. Reversing the toes. I come back, hinge forward, hop to top, chair pose. On this chair pose, I'm going to challenge you a little bit. Let's go ahead and lift up the right heel. 2 deep breaths. Release. Left heel. Great job. Release, forward fold. Awesome. Deep breath in, drop the hips, coming overhead. And now we're gonna go warrior lunge on the left side. Let's go ahead and take that left leg back. Both toes, ankles are forward. We're gonna lean back into it, tuck our pelvis in. Nice neutral spine as we come down to that strong warrior one. A warrior lunge. Warrior lunge. Great job. Good. As we come up, bringing those hands to heart center, rotating that heel, driving into warrior 2. Shoulders are down. Careful on that low back. Pull the tailbone under. You want to go 2 to 3 deep breaths each stretch, and then reverse that warrior. Windmill those hands into plank. Spine roll from the top, back, back to front, lower down, full cobra, chaturanga. Beautiful. Dropping the knees, reversing the toes, down dog. Hinging those hips, dropping those knees, child's pose. Great job. Let's recover for 3 deep breaths. Back up to all fours. We're going to go back to downward dog. And we're going to go into 3-point dog, lifting up that right leg. Continuing to keep the straight line between the joints, elbows, ankles, hip. And from here, we're going to take that knee and drive it all the way forward where the right hand is to runner stretch. Pull the foot forward, come outside the mat. Also, you can drop the back knee if you'd like a little assistance there. Or if the hips are a little tight, listen to your body. Palms grounded to the floor, feet, toes grounded to the floor, kickstand on the back foot. Driving those shoulders back, engage that core. Once we've got everything in alignment, we can extend that leg, and we will T-spine rotate from that full runner stretch. Taking the right hand to the ceiling. 3 deep breaths. We're going to drop that back knee. If you don't have it dropped, windmill those hands to kneeling lunge, reverse warrior. 2, reverse warrior 2. I don't like to get fancy with all the knees. We'll just do the stretches. Y'all are doing a great job.
From here, windmill those hands back to all fours, downward dog. Spine roll, top to back. Then we're going 3-point down dog on the opposite leg. Once again, joints are straight, deep breaths. Holding here, 2 to 3 deep breaths, then driving over. Let that foot come to that hand there. Grounding those palms, pulling the shoulders back, engaging that core. Also, see spine. Try not to break it. Pull that chin down, tall through the top of the head. Once we get into that position, we can rotate that T-spine. Full runner stretch, beautiful job. 2 to 3 deep breaths, each stretch. Windmill back. Then we come back, down dog, deep breathing. Good job, spine roll back. Taking that same leg, bring it through, drop that knee, windmill those hands to kneeling lunge, warrior 2, reverse, opposite side. Good job. There's no wrong way to do yoga. There's no wrong way to do fitness or movement. As long as you're breathing, stretching, lengthening, you're doing a great job. Just go where your body allows. Back to plank. We will lower down chaturanga into full cobra. Excellent. Dropping the knees, taking downward dog. Hop, step, jump to front. Chest comes up, hands come overhead, chair pose. This time we're going to try to lift both heels off the floor. If not, then do one at a time. Challenge yourself. Deep breath in. Begin. 3 deep breaths. Beautiful. Release. Forward fold. We're going to do a quick fire low back half lift. Beautiful. Release. Hands come down, hop, step, jump to plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Reverse the hips, child's pose. 2 deep breaths. Coming back up. Into plank, we will spine roll front, spine roll back. Bend the knees, hop to front. Hands come overhead. Great, now we're going to begin sun salutations and put it all together. Top of the mat, grab a sip of water if you need it. Adjust yourself and let's get back to it. All right. Deep breath in as we begin receiving pose. Check in those landmarks, grounding the feet, ankles, calves, quads, glutes, pelvis. Lifting the chest. Receive the energy. Deep breath in overhead. Extend that vertical line. Separate the wrist from the forearm from the elbow, the bicep from the shoulder from the lat. So stretch every single piece out. And then exhale to forward fold. Beautiful. Just when you think you've stretched enough, you can stretch a little more. Half lift. Release. From here, we're going to drop the hips. Come back overhead to warrior lunge, right side. From here, everything is straight. Shoulders come back. Neutralize that low back, coming down for warrior lunge. Then from warrior lunge, we're going to bring those hands to heart center as we rotate to warrior 2. Reverse that warrior 2. Windmill those arms into plank. Lower down, chaturanga into cobra. Reverse the toes, down dog. Spine roll front. And return back. Bend those knees, hop forward. Hands come overhead, chair pose. Tucking that tailbone in, finding your grounding through the lower portion of your body. Lifting 1 or 2 heels. Let's go. 3 deep breaths. shoulders over the hips.
Forward fold, release.
Woo! Awesome. Shake it out. Drop the hips, deep breath in, hands overhead. And we've got the other side. Left side, warrior lunge. Warrior two. Reverse that warrior. Windmill. Into plank, chaturanga. Lower down. Hold it. Reverse. Down dog. Spine roll. Return. Drop those hips, jump forward. Lift the chest, drop the hips, chair pose. Lift those heels. 3 deep breaths. Ooh, release. Beautiful job. Half lift. Release. Hop to plank. Lower down.
And child's pose. This time, let's take our knees outside the mat. Great work. We're going to let that circulate. Excellent. 3 deep breaths. Good. Coming back up to all fours. We're almost there before we flip it over for our finisher. Down dog position from the all fours. Extend those hips back. We're going 3-point dog. Adjusting those feet, lifting that right leg, all joints are straight. Driving it forward to that runner stretch. From here, immediately windmill that head to the sky. T-spine rotation. Dropping that back knee, reversing the toes. Kneeling warrior two, reverse. Make sure that the shoulders are down once again. Neutralize that spine. Stay in that healthy position. If you need to adjust the joints to make it comfortable, do so. Windmill those arms back. Down dog. Spine roll. Return. High hinge. Hop to front. Hands overhead, chair pose. Lift. You got it, you got it. Good work. Go, 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 and release. Ooh. Excellent. Half lift. Release. Hop, step, jump to plank. Good. Lower down. Chaturanga cobra. Down dog. 3-point. Left leg comes forward. Driving that knee all the way through. And windmilling over. Belly to spine through that rotation. Deep breath in. Proud chest. Dropping that back knee, coming up. For that kneeling, warrior two, reverse. 2 to 3 deep breaths. Windmilling it back. Into plank. Spine roll. Good. Hop to front. Hips come down, chest comes up. Chair pose. Lift. Hold. You got it. Ooh, shaking. And release. Excellent. Pedal those knees. Shake that head, yes. Shake it, no. Swing over to the left side. Swing over to the right side. Half lift. Release. Drop those hips. Tuck the chin into the chest. And we're going to spine roll to the top. Great job. I need a sip of water and to wipe my sweat. Y'all are doing a great job. Stay with me. We're going to come back for a quick finisher. And we'll get y'all out of here. Welcome back. Now it's time to cool down from that awesome body weight and yoga session. You did a great job. We're gonna go ahead and come down to a supine position on our backs with our knees bended, feet flat on the floor. Make sure that your shoulders are down, away from the ears, palms to the ground, neutral spine. We're gonna begin 15 glute bridges. Driving the heels, lifting the glutes, firing. Exhale through the lift, belly to spine. Long extended hip drives, glute bridges. Try not to rush through it. We are using this more as a decompression than an exercise, if you will. And then once you get 15, we're gonna hold that 15th one at the top, pulling those shoulders down and clasping our hands behind us. And we're gonna hold that bridge with our clasped hands. If you are comfortable there, you can just use the ankles or stay where you're at with that static hold. Great job. Dropping those hips, neutralizing the low back, pulling the knees into your chest, rock side to side. Extending one leg, we're gonna take the right knee, pull it around our ribs, up into our armpit, if you will, and lengthen out that leg, get a deeper stretch on that hip. We'll go cross lateral both sides, and hold each one 2 to 3 deep breaths. Once you alternate, take that knee around the ribs and pull it back into the body. Clasping the hands an inch or two below the knee joint. Pull that knee as close as possible to your rib cage and breathe. Good. Both knees come back up. Taking both knees outside the ribs, pulling into the body, rock side to side. Good job. Now activating the low abs, taking our hands under our hips and butt. We're gonna extend those legs, flexing the feet, not pointing the feet, flexing the feet. Shoulders down and back, chest lifted. We've got 15 leg raises. Continue your leg raises. And remember, your low back should stay to the floor as you extend the legs out. If you notice an arch on the spine, please engage the core and pull the legs back up. Little by little through practice and strengthening the abdominals, you'll be able to get lower and lower. Once you get 15, pull those knees into the chest, side to side. Feet upon the floor, cross the right over left. We're going to lift up our hip into a single glute bridge and hold for 3 deep breaths. Shoulders down away from the ears. Begin. Make sure your hips are square, keeping that level through the bottom side and the core stability of the front of the body. Switching sides, lifting up, and hold. If you're not comfortable with a single leg bridge, please do continue with the 2 feet down, original glute bridge. Now we're going to come up for 5, just to reset that. Good. Then taking our arms out to a T, we're going to go one more cross, taking the left foot, placing it into the center line of your body on the floor down below. Crossing the other leg, not too tight of a cross, but slightly tighter than the last leg cross. Lifting that hip back up, you're going to come onto the left glute. Once your hips are twisted and your spine is now returning to a vertical position, you can allow the knees to fall over. The reason we do that is to protect the sacrum. We don't want anything to get twisted or tangled in that low back, especially if we have any chronic issues already. Play it safe. 3 deep breaths. Proud chest. Belly to spine. Before coming out of this position, unravel the feet, bringing the knees together. Coming to center, nice, safe transition. Knees to the chest. Reset. Back to the other side, crossing, lifting up to the right glute. Then we can transition those legs over, and if you look down, you'll notice your spine is still in one line. That's why we lift the glute off the floor. Healthy spine, healthy body. Good job. 3 to 4 deep breaths. Then once again, unraveling, bringing those knees back together. Quick reset, rock it forward and back. And return back to the seated position where we began the class. Great job. That was so rejuvenating. I feel amazing. I hope you all do as well. Taking your hands upon your knees, we're going to go into resistance breathing. And we're going to allow all that work that we did today to circulate through the body, getting everything back into that comfort zone. Seated bones are flat to the floor. Chest is lifted, shoulders back. Engaging the core and lower pelvis. Take a deep breath in through your nose for 4 to 5 seconds. And exhale that breath for 6 to 8 seconds. Resistance breathing is great to bring the heart rate down, leveling your blood pressure. And if you have anxiety, it also helps with that to kind of level that emotional spike. Let's give it a shot. Deep breath in, 4 to 5 seconds. Exhale, 6 to 8 seconds. Begin. Continue your breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth with your mouth closed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do that again. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Deep breath in as our hands come over our head. Hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today. Giselle Calvillo with Mix Fit SA. Namaste. I hope you'll visit us again. We'll be back Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12:15, live here. See you soon.